What's up, everybody? Welcome to The Revival. My name is JJ, and it's time for part 3 of my N64 collection. Alright, let's finish this list off. Cool thing about this is, like, I'm starting with a couple that don't have a lot of experience with, but, like, normally when I do collection videos, I sit there and I'm like, I haven't played this, I haven't played this, I haven't played this, I haven't played this, I haven't played... There's so many that I haven't played. My Nintendo 64 collection, with the past 2 videos that I've done already, I've played every single one of them, and I love them. This one, there's a few that I haven't touched. Well, still not that many. Maybe like 1 or 2. But I've played most of them on here. It's pretty great. But at the end, let me know if there's stuff that I'm missing and that I need to get a hold of, because I'd love to build this collection up. First up, we've got a game that I've played a little bit of, but I don't have a ton of experience with it. That is 1080 Degree Snowboarding. I remember when it came out, it was a big deal. I remember reading all about Nintendo Power, and that it was just one of those games that boasted, the real feeling of snowboarding and stuff. And I remember having a good time playing with it and stuff like that, but don't have a lot of experience with it. I remember getting it pretty recently, being happy to have it, because again, it's another one of those, because it was so big. It's a good piece of gaming history, and I'm all about that. I love having games like that in my collection, so 1080 Degree Snowboarding. Next is, I remember getting this because I remember not knowing what the hell it was, and other than I'm assuming it's a racing game, and that is Automobile Lamborghini. I have not played it. This, I believe, came with the big box that I got from the game store that closed down, where I posted it on Facebook, and my old boss reached out to me and said, hey, if you're looking to buy some stuff, I know a guy who's closing his store, and we made a deal, and this was in there. Again, have not played it, so I don't know much about it, other than I'm assuming it's a racing game. So this is like the one game that I have not touched in my collection of N64 games. So I'd say that's pretty good for me, considering all my past collection videos. So, Lamborghini. Is it any good? Anybody played it? Next up, oh my god, I have so many good memories of this game. Gauntlet Legends. Saving to a memory card, taking it over to your friend's house, loading it up onto the controller there, and using your character to play in with their game, and then just getting 4 of you together who you can bring your characters and keep building them up over time, keep playing through. And man, this was such a good time being able to do that, and I love this game so much. It's super simple. You're just going through levels, hack and slash, leveling up, going on to the next level, and whatnot. But if you had 3 other people to play with, this was an absolute blast, because if you could save your character and stuff like that, because everybody just wanted to have the best and be the strongest. You unlock new characters along the way, so you're always changing who you are, but then you have to go back and level them up again, but you can do it on your own time, and then bring your character the next time you come over, and Gauntlet Legends was just such a great game. The Gauntlet series really does have a lot of good stuff to offer. This is probably my favorite in the series that I have played. I really, really enjoyed this one, just because of the memories I have with it. It was so good. So, Gauntlet Legends. Next is another one. I do have the box for this as well. And this game blew me away when it came out. As I mentioned earlier, I love games with dogfighting, and Star Wars Rogue Squadron, man. This was and is so much fun to play. I really, really just... The Star Wars feeling of being like a pilot and just doing these aerial battles throughout the game. It was tough. There's a lot of hard missions in this game. I think I only ever finished it on the easiest difficulty. I think I got far on normal or whatever it was, but man, this game is not easy. So if you have finished it, like on those harder difficulties, man, props to you, because dang. But nonetheless, it was still so much fun to play. I don't remember it having multiplayer. I'm not sure. I always only played it alone anyways, but it was just, it absolutely blew my mind when it came out. And I went back to it for years, when I had my N64 still hooked up, because I just love this game so much. This was a great one to, if I didn't know what to play, I can do a couple battles. Yeah, sure. You hop in, you just do this, and it's such a great game. Next is a game that I played a handful of times. This was a big deal when it came out originally, and that is Pilotwing 64. This was one of the launch titles that Nintendo made a big deal about, just because of the way it looked and things you could do and all that stuff. I played it a few times back in the day. I was never very good at it, to be honest, but I definitely appreciated it for what it was. I wish I could specifically remember a lot with it. I remember hang gliding and parachuting and that kind of stuff, but I remember landing was always tough for me. I don't know, man. Again, this is one of those that I picked up because it was such a great piece of gaming history. I don't have a lot of history with it, but I have played it. I actually have 2 copies of this as well, because I bought a second one when I wasn't sure if I had it, but I did. And I just got it because it was really, really cheap. This game's not hard to find. It's super, super cheap, and at least it is now. But it's Pilotwing 64. I'm sure there's people who have tons of memories of that because it was such a big deal when the N64 came out. Next is a game I bought for, I think, $2, and it was purely nostalgia. That is Madden Football 64. I bought this just a couple of years ago, and when I got it and I showed, I usually if I go out and I find a handful of games, I'll take a picture of it and I'll send it to some of my friends. I remember people asking me why the hell did you get Madden 64? And I was like, oh, it's nostalgia, and it was super cheap, $2. Tons of memories with this. My buddy Joey, who, the WCW NWO, who I mentioned earlier, him and I would play this constantly at his house, and he was really, really good at it. He was the best non-gamer that I knew. Seriously. He, I still know him, obviously, but he was good at everything he played. He was really, really good at it, but if you were to ask him, he wouldn't really call himself a gamer. He's just kind of yeah, I play games sometimes, sure. I always wanted to go over there and I always wanted to play games. And he was 50-50 on whether he wanted to or not, but anytime he did, he was better at everything than me. It was just crazy. Anyways, Madden 64. I am partial to Madden 95 on Sega Genesis. But this has a lot of memories just because I remember playing it with him, and it was super cheap, so I picked it up. Next is a game. Oh man, South Park. When this came out, this is the one where it's the very first South Park game. It's the one where you're it's a first-person shooter and you're shooting plungers at turkeys and stuff. It's not a good game at all. I remember being really excited about it because I thought it was going to be goofy, and it totally is. But the gameplay is so shallow and just kind of why am I even playing this? I didn't really want to do it. There's just not much to it. I bought it for, I think my friend paid full price for it. He sold it to me for $30 at the time, and then I was so just not thrilled with it that I tried to take it back in to sell it, and they literally offered me 50 cents for it at I don't know if it was GameStop at the time, but at whatever game store was nearby, probably GameStop. I'm not joking, 50 cents. And I was like, are you seriously? And the game was not that old when that happened, so I was just like, oh, you may as well just keep it at that price. It's not very good at all. It's just really goofy. It's one of those where you tell people, oh yeah, I played that, and it's fun for about 30 seconds, and then you're the novelty just wears off, and that's it. The newer games like Stick of Truth and stuff are so much better. That's not good. Next up is a game, again, I don't know what it is with Donkey Kong games not getting the love they deserve, man. But like Donkey Kong 64, this is another game that did not get the appreciation it deserved. However, with this one, people who played it and actually gave it a chance thought it was amazing. The problem is a lot of people didn't because Mario Kart was out. That is Diddy Kong Racing. Motorcycles, hovercrafts, I don't know if motorcycles, hovercrafts, cars, and airplanes instead of just cars. And you could all race them against each other too. So that would like create advantages in different levels and stuff like that as you were racing through. And there was like a story mode and there was a hub world. And this game is so good. It's so good. But man, it's so frustrating when it just doesn't get the attention that it deserved. And this one did not. Again, I played this at my buddy Matt's house and I was like, why have I not heard about this before? Like, I didn't even know this was a thing. And we played for hours, and I had to get myself a copy of it, and I still love this game to this day. If they re-released this on Switch, I would be so excited. Like, I'm looking at it right now, and I'm like, I kind of want to hook up my N64 so I can play this. Because it's so damn good. I promise you, anybody who's watching right now, if you have played this, put something in the comments down below saying, yeah, I've played Diddy Kong Racing, and tell me what you think. Because I'm pretty darn sure most, if not all of you, are going to be like, that game is awesome. It's really good. So, Diddy Kong Racing, man. Why don't more people play stuff like this and give it the love it deserves? Because it's amazing. It's so good. Anyway. And last, but certainly not least, a game that made you feel like you were going so fast, and at the same time you still had control of everything, and it was really cool to see that. And that is Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. You know, say what you want about the movie. This game is awesome. It's really good. I think they have a remastered version on like newer consoles as well. So honestly, I would say give it a shot. Try it out because this is a really fun racing game. You don't have to be a Star Wars fan. You don't have to be a fan of the movie or anything like that. It just, in its own right, literally, you feel like you're going so fast. But I always kind of likened it to like, in the movie, they say like he's got, you know, a Jedi trait. He can see things before they happen. It's weird because you'll be playing this and you'll like be taking these like turns that come out of nowhere and stuff like that, and you'll just do it, and you'll be like, how could I have done that? Like, there's no way I would have made that turn in real life. You really just have to play it because it's so crazy to think about like the speeds and what you're doing in that game and how like unrealistic it is, but at the same time it doesn't feel unrealistic while you're doing it. It's again hard to explain, but I highly recommend it. Hey buddy, coming right at the end, huh? Yeah, I know. It's almost his feeding time. So, but Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, for sure. Check it out if you haven't already. Guys, that's my N64 collection. I have so many great games in there. It was nice to finally do a collection video, series of videos where I had played pretty much all of them except I think one, and that was a Lamborghini. So that was really cool to finally be able to do that because so many other collection videos. I haven't played it. So either way, but yeah, tell me what I'm missing. What other Nintendo 64 games are out there that I need? Because I love the system so much, and I would love to be able to build the collection a lot more. I have a really cool Nintendo 64 that's custom with like a Zelda skin on it that I would love to fire back up and start playing again. I'm eyeballing that Diddy Kong Racing too, and I may just do that at some point in the near future. But yeah, so tell me what I'm missing. Tell me what you grew up with. Tell me what you liked about the Nintendo 64. It was and is still a great system. It brought people together, having some place to go where you knew a handful of people were going to be, and that they had 4 controllers. You knew you were in for a good time. That's such a great system still to this day. So I love the Nintendo 64, which did not start out that way, as I explained earlier. But thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Really appreciate it. And as always, keep on gaming.